So as you make your way into a seated, cross-legged position this morning to begin our practice, make any adjustments that are necessary to be comfortable. Maybe be conscious of crossing your legs opposite to how you would typically cross them as you start to settle in. Let your eyes close and let your spine lengthen, crown of the head extending upwards towards the ceiling. Try to relax the jaw. Relax the face, the scalp, the neck. Let the shoulders melt down away from the ears. Settling heavily through the seat, thighs, feet, legs. So try to be very heavy, very grounded, and very rooted from the navel area downward. And then from the navel area upward, try to be light, almost as though there was a little string attached there at the crown of the head, gently pulling you upwards. And as you start to smooth the breath out, see if you can lengthen your inhales and your exhales. Trying to make them the same length. So we're going to begin to link our breath together. Bless you. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath gently. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, and hold again. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Retain, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Retain, 2, 3, 4. Inhale. And hold softly. Exhale slowly, empty the lungs. And again, hold the breath. Inhale. Retain. Exhale. And retain. Good. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Make your way to your hands and your knees now, coming into your table pose, stacking shoulders over wrists and hips over knees. Spread your fingers as wide as you can, gripping with your fingers as you push the earth away from you. Draw the low belly up and in towards the spine. Good, and then inhale, lift the chin and the tailbone up. Exhale, tuck the chin, tuck the tailbone, rounding out the back. Inhaling, back into cow. Exhaling, slowly up into cat. And just continue a few rounds, moving with your breath. Maybe you can even close your eyes. Try to keep the shoulders away from the ears in both postures. Keep gripping with those hands, pushing the floor away. Keep lifting that low belly gently up. Take one more inhale into cow, and one more exhale up into cat. Coming to a neutral table when you're done, gazing straight down to the floor. On an inhale, send your right leg back and your left arm forward for a spinal balance. Try to let that arm come right up alongside the ear, palm is turning in, fingers spread wide. Pull that left shoulder gently back and down away from the ear. Keep flexing that right foot and spreading the toes. Good. Take another inhale. Lift the arm and leg a bit higher. Stretch them out even longer as you exhale. Set the hand and the knee down. And then inhale, left leg back, right arm forward. Changing sides. Pull that right shoulder back away from the ear. Turn those left toes and that left kneecap down to face the ground. Keep pressing firmly through that left hand. Keep drawing up through that low belly area. Try not to lift the left ankle any higher than the hip. Good. Take another inhale. Stretch it out even longer. Lift those limbs a bit higher as you exhale. Set the hand and the knee down. Let's inhale. Lift the chin and the tail up. Look up. Exhale. Draw the tail down as you tuck the chin and round the back. 2 more of those. Inhaling into cow. Exhaling up into cat. Last one. Inhale. Lift the tailbone. Lift the chin. Open the throat. Exhale, draw the tail down, tuck the chin, round the back, big toes together. Sit your hips back. Try not to move your hands at all. So keeping those hands firmly rooted, just shift the hips from side to side. And then bringing the hips to center, pull yourself back up, separating the feet to hip distance, lift the chin and the tail. Tuck the toes, and as you tuck the tail, press the hips up and back to downward dog. And again, sway those hips side to side. And let your hips sway to center. Inhale, pull yourself forward to the top of a push-up. Exhale, lower, slowly down, elbows hugging the sides, and then send the chin forward, lifting through the back of your head. Tops of the feet are heavy. Elbows hugging into the sides, push into the palms. Inhale just a little higher. Tuck your toes, take it up and back to downward dog. Breathe deeply. Breathe slowly. Big toes are in a little closer than the inner heels. If those heels feel like they're more than 4 inches off the ground, try stepping the feet just a little closer, or maybe bending the knees slightly. Good. On your next inhale, rise up onto your toes, soften the knees as you look forward, and as you exhale, let your feet come to your hands. And then inhale to a flat back, lengthen the spine. On the exhale, fold chest to thighs. Inhale, and the arms reach up, look up. As you exhale, bring your hands together at your heart. Inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale, fold, hinge from your hips. Inhale, look forward, lengthening the spine. Exhale, plant the palms, step back to the top of a push-up, and lower slowly down. Curling into your cobra, Bhujangasana. Hold here, relax the shoulders down, away from the ears. Try to get heavy through those feet. Inhaling a little higher, tuck the toes, float the hips up, chest back, downward dog. And breathe here. Pushing the floor away from you through those hands. Pushing the chest gently back. On your inhale, rise to the toes, soft knees, look forward. Exhale, feet come forward. Inhaling, halfway up, heart away from navel. Exhale, fold chest to thighs. So let's inhale, come up to a flat back again. Take a grip on the back of the legs. Now gently draw yourself down. Belly, chest, chin, nose, then forehead. Try to let your toes continue to take just as much weight as your heels. Breathe. Relax your head. Relax your head. Just let it hang. Good. As you release the hold on those legs, plant your palms firmly down, shoulder distance apart. Walk, step, or hop back to the top of a push-up. Set your right knee down on the ground underneath the right hip and plant your left foot directly behind those right toes and bring your right hand in to line up with the knee. If you need the little kickstand, slide that right foot back behind you and on an inhale, let your left arm float up towards the ceiling. So as you grip with those right fingers and push the floor away from you, shoulder is over wrist, looking up towards that left thumb if it's within your ability, and then rotate the palm forward. Start to extend the arm over the ear. Pull both shoulders down away from the ears as you spiral your chest open to the left. Keep gripping with those right fingers, pressing firmly through that right hand. If you want a little more, challenging your balance, take a bit more weight into the right hand. Let that left leg float up away from the earth. Flexing the foot, spreading the toes. If you've lifted that left leg, set it down nice and slow. Glue the foot down. Inhale, lift that left arm up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, look down, lowering the hand down and the knee down. Bring your hands back to shoulder distance width. Inhale, lift the chin and the tailbone up. Hold here. Press the chest through the upper arms. So you want to make sure your hands are back under your shoulders, pushing your chest through the upper arms. Take one more inhale. Exhale, draw the tail down, tuck the chin, rounding out the back. Hold here in cat. Pressing the center of your spine right up towards the ceiling above you. On your next inhale, neutral spine, left knee stays where it is as the right foot plants flat behind it. Let's bring the left hand in, line it up with the knee. Make sure that your hand is under your shoulder. Grip with those fingers, and when you're ready, float that right arm up towards the ceiling. Stacking the shoulders, stacking the hips as best you can. If you need a little kickstand for balance support, slide the left foot back a bit more. Can you look out to that side wall or even up towards that right thumb? Keep the sole of that right foot gripping. Turn your right palm forward. Take the arm over the ear. And then as you spiral your chest open to the right, try to keep turning that right pinky finger down at the same time. Maybe you're challenging yourself, leaning into that left hand, floating that right leg up, flexing the foot if it's leaving the earth. Make sure you can still breathe. If you've lifted the foot, nice and slow, lower it down, gripping a little bit with that foot. Let's inhale that right arm back up. As you exhale, look down, lower the hand and the knee down, widen those hands again, and inhale into cow. Exhale up into cat. Inhaling, and the tailbone lifts as the chin lifts. Exhale, draw the tail down as you tuck the chin and round. One more time, inhaling. And exhale. Come back to a neutral spine. Slide the knees back a little bit. Tuck the toes. Press up and back to your downward dog. So if those heels are more than 4 inches off the ground, step the feet in a little closer. Turn the big toes in just slightly. If stepping the feet in a little closer means the heels are still really lifted, try a little bend in the knees, pressing the chest back. Try to take the weight out of the arms and put more of the weight back into those legs. Draw your shoulders up and back, away from your ears, and try to stay contained a bit through that low rib cage area. Don't sway too much through the low back. Good, inhale, rise to the toes, soft knees, look forward, and let your feet come to the space right in between your palms, and then inhale to a flat back. As you exhale, fold over those legs. Inhale, let the arms come up, lift the chin, look up. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Looking forward, inhale, arms reach up. Take a side bend to the right as you exhale. Inhale, back to center. And exhale slowly to the left. Inhale, just as slow, come up and sway again to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale to the left. One more time, inhale, come up. Exhale, lean to the right and hold. Keep that right shoulder rolled forward. Press that left hip now out to the left if you can. Balance the weight evenly between those 2 feet. Good, inhale, come back up slowly, and then lean the upper body to the left to start. Shoulders stay down, pushing that right hip slightly out to the right. Keep that left shoulder forward. Good, as you inhale, come up, look up. As you exhale, push the hips forward as you lean the torso back. Lift your heart up towards the ceiling above you. Reach as far back behind you as you can, pushing those hips forward. How deep of a back bend can you come into? Work to your edge. Inhale, come back up, soft knees, reach forward and fold all the way down. Now look forward to lengthen the spine. If the feet aren't there already, take them to hip distance and grab those big toes, pulling yourself down. So it's the pointer and middle finger. They've made J-shaped hooks right around the big toes, and then the fingers pull up, the toes push down, equally strong. So your palms are facing one another. Pull those shoulders back away from your ears. Imagine that you could take the top of the head and pull it right down towards that space between those big toes. Pull your hips up and away from your heels. Press the backs of those knees gently open, and then inhale, look forward. Release those big toes. Heel toe the feet together so you can plant your palms and walk, step, or hop back to the top of a push-up. Good. As you inhale, look forward, and as you exhale, slowly lower elbows, hugging in, and then send the chin forward as you lift through the back of the head. Make sure your fingers are behind the tops of those shoulders. Grip with the hands. Press heavily into the tops of those feet. Kneecaps lift. Good. Take one more inhale. Come up a little bit higher. Tuck the toes. Float the hips up, pushing the chest back. Downward facing dog. So spread your fingers out as wide as you can, and on an inhale, lift your right leg up behind you. Level out your hips, flex your foot, spread your toes. Try to keep working that inward spiral with that upper right thigh. And as you inhale, lift that right leg just a bit higher. Exhale, big step forward with that right foot, walking your right foot closer to your right hand. Take that left foot back as far as you can. Good. As you rise to the pads of the fingers, lifting the chest away from the front thigh, try to draw the right hip back, left hip forward. Press that left leg as straight as you can. Now keep looking down and take the arms, float them forward, right up alongside those ears. Right hip is still pulling back, left hip is still pulling forward. Take another full breath in, and as you exhale, lower your fingerprints down. Left hand comes in a little closer, gripping with the fingerprints. Inhale, right arm reaches for the ceiling. Spiral that chest, open to the right. Keep pressing that left leg as straight as you can. Try not to let your hips fall out to the side. Right hip back, left hip forward. Take one more inhale, reach even higher. As you exhale, the right arm comes down. Plant both your palms. Step the right foot back and press up and back to downward dog. Breathe through your nose, in and out. Inhale, lift the left leg up. Keep those hips level, toes down, kneecap down. Press through those palms, fingers spread wide. Inhale that left leg just a bit higher, and then take a big step forward with your left foot. So you try to bring the foot in between the hands rather than outside the hands, but as that foot comes up, it starts to walk closer to the left hand than center. Right foot, take it all the way back as far as it'll go. So look at your feet. There should be 2 of your own fist distance in between those 2 heels. Left hip back, right hip forward. Lift the chest away from that left thigh. Press that right leg as straight as you can. Now on your next inhale, let your arms sweep forward. Keep your chest low. Pull those shoulders down, away from the ears. Good. Take another inhale. Stretch those fingers out. As you exhale, let your fingerprints come back to the floor. Right hand a little closer to the left foot now. When you're ready, inhale, let your left arm reach up. Spiral your chest open to the left. So as you lift that left arm, keep pressing that right leg as straight as you can, sinking both hips down towards the floor at the same time. Try to keep your left hand forward in line with that left shoulder. Take one last inhale, reach a little higher, and then exhale, the left hand comes down. Plant both your palms flat on your mat. So you can always let your left leg fall out behind the left arm to get both hands down. Left foot joins the right foot. Press back to your downward dog. And as you press the heels down, try to keep those toes relaxed. Good. As you inhale, lift to the toes, soften the knees as you look forward. And as you exhale, bring your feet to your hands, big toes together. Inhale to a flat back. As you exhale, fold over those legs, bending the knees, squeezing those knees and thighs together. Sit those hips really low. Keeping the tailbone tucked, turning the palms to face one another as you inhale, reach your arms forward and up. Keep lifting the chest without unbending the legs. Keep lifting the arms, lifting the chin, pointing that tailbone down. Draw that low belly towards the spine. Now, turn your pinky fingers in just slightly. Can you look at the space between those palms? If it's too much, take the gaze down slightly. Sit your hips a little lower if you can. Now, looking forward, maybe slightly down, find something to look at that's not going to move. Inhale, lift your heels up away from the ground. Can you bend your knees just a tiny bit deeper? Keep the chest up. Take another inhale, and as you exhale, lower your heels down. Inhaling to straighten the legs, reach up. Take that little back bend, and then reach forward and fold all the way down. Inhale to a flat back. Take your palms to the ground. Step back to the top of a push-up. Remembering that your plank can be done from the toes, can also be done from the knees. Grip with your fingers. Tips of the fingers should be turning lighter in color. Shoulders forward over the first set of knuckles. Look forward as you inhale. Lower with control as you exhale. Inhaling into cobra. Slide your hands forward. Elbows under shoulders. Separate the feet to a natural hip distance. Forearms are parallel here. Pull the chest forward. So try not to let those feet turn out or turn in. Tops of the feet are heavy. Pull the chest through the upper arms, lift through the crown of the head, and then close the eyes. Pull the shoulders down, away from the ears. And if they keep hiking up around the ears, slide your elbows forward a little bit more. Try to lengthen your spine as much as possible. Bringing your big toes together, let your heels fall out to the sides. As you open the eyes, take your hands out a little wider and turn your fingers out to the sides. Pressing into the palms, keep the bend in the elbows. Inhale, lift the elbows off the ground. Lift the chin. Looking up. Keep those shoulders down, away from the ears. Slow your breathing down. Take one more inhale. Exhale, release the elbows, widen them, stack your palms, lie on your left ear. Big toes are still together, heels fall apart. Just wiggle those hips back and forth, side to side, and then stop and relax the low back. Feel that belly pressing into the floor as you inhale and feel your back rise. Empty the lungs completely as you exhale, belly pulling back towards the spine, all the stale air squeezed out of those lungs. Good. If you need to back up on your mat so your chin is on your mat, you're going to glue your chin to your mat and bring your arms down alongside the body. So there's a few different options for the hands. You can be palms down and flat, pinky next to pinky as we bring the arms underneath us. You have the option of making two fists, kind of like one potato, two potato. Don't tuck your thumbs in though, keep them on the outside. Pressing the tops of those fists down as you bring the arms underneath you. So we're preparing for Locust. The last final option is to interlace your fingers like you were gonna do a volleyball bump underneath the body. So if you don't have any idea what I'm talking about, you can lift your head up and look at me. So palms down, fist next to fist, or two interlaced hands. You're trying to bring your arms under you, so you're gonna have to kind of wiggle them under, try to get your elbows to come underneath the body as well. Now take your chin a little further forward and really press that chin into the yoga mat. Point your toes back behind you. Pressing into your left foot on an inhale, lift your right leg up. Exhale, lower your right leg down. Press into the right foot, inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale it down, inhale, right leg up. And slowly lower it, nice and slow. Left leg up and lower it down. Inhale, lift the right leg up, hold it up, level your hips out. Do you have the ability to bend your left knee and use your left foot as a prop, resting that sole of the foot onto the front of that right leg? Maybe on the shin, try to keep the right leg straight. So you're bending the left to try to place your left foot on the top of your right leg. So don't bend the left knee quite so much, Patty. Lift that right leg up again and then try to prop up that straight right leg with your left foot. Yeah, you got it. Take one more inhale. Now lift the right leg off the left foot, lower the left leg down, lower the right leg down, and now inhale, lift that left leg up. Bend your right knee. Prop up that left leg by placing the sole of the foot on the front of the leg. Wherever it can reach, level out your hips as best you can. Push into your arms, push into your chin. Inhale, that left leg comes off the right foot, lower the right leg down, and the left leg down. Now, make a little adjustment. Can you bring the arms a little more tightly underneath you? Can you get those elbows right in? If you want to try a different hand position, make sure that you don't have your palms facing up. They should be facing down. Because we've got one shot to lift both legs up. So we're going to do that on our third inhale. So let's inhale all together, chin on the ground, exhale completely. Take another inhale, don't lift the legs yet, exhale, prepare. Now inhale, both legs, lift them up. How high can you lift them? Push into those arms, push into your chin, lift those legs, don't lift the chin. One more inhale, lift those legs up, up, up. Exhale, let the legs come down. Beautiful. Let the arms come out from under you. Make a pillow with the hands. Turn your head to the left, lying on your right cheek. Bring your big toes together, heels fall apart. Wiggle those hips back and forth. And then randomly stop and try to relax that low back. And breathe. If having the hands stacked is not comfortable, Jackie, arms can come back right alongside the body and the palms can face the ceiling, and just let the shoulders kind of melt into the floor. Try to keep your big toes together, but let your heels fall out. Good. One more back bend to go. So when you're ready, let your forehead come down to your mat. Bring your legs together and your arms beside you. Bend your knees. See if you can grab a hold of the tops of your feet. If you know that you can't grab a hold of the tops of the feet or the front of the ankles, you can do more of that serpent pose where we lift the arms and lift the legs, keeping the legs straight, John, instead of lifting or bending the knees. If you're holding on to the tops of your feet or the front of your ankles with your hands, once you've got that grip, see if you can slide your legs back together. Start to push your feet into your hands. On an inhale, send the chin forward, lift through the back of the head. Now use the strength of the arms. Try to lift your thighs up off the ground, pulling those toes up towards the ceiling above you. If you're lifting just the straight legs and straight arms and the chest, your fingers stretch back, your toes stretch back. Work to your edge here. Pull the shoulders down. Take one more inhale, lift everything up, up, up. Exhale, release, forehead to the mat, hands beside the chest. Tops of the feet are on the ground. Really slowly press up to the knees. And then let your hips fall back to your heels slowly, big toes together. Sit back into child's pose. And take a few deep breaths here. In through the nose, out through the nose. Good. As you reach those hands back up to the top of the mat, pull yourself up to your hands and knees, tuck the toes, take it back to downward facing dog, and take a moment here. Lengthen the arms, neck, the rest of the spine, lifting through the hips, pressing those heels gently down as you relax your head. Step your right foot up to the top of your mat and then walk your hands around to the left, turning to face the long edge of your yoga mat. Turn your right toes in as you walk your hands around. So now you're going to pigeon toe your feet with only about one leg's length in between them. If you can't get your fingerprints down on the ground, try taking the feet a little wider. So make sure that your big toes are turned in and your heels are slid out. So the inner edges of the big toes are substantially closer together than the inner edges of the heels. Now inhale up to the fingerprints, lengthening the spine. As you exhale, start to plant your palms shoulder distance apart and start to walk your hands back. How far back can you walk them without the heels of the hands leaving the ground? Keep your hands shoulder distance width. Grip with the fingers, hug your elbows into shoulder distance. And now use the strength of the arms to pull yourself through those legs, keeping the hips coming forward in line with the ankles. Relax the head. Try to lead with the chest rather than with the chin or the nose or the forehead. So it's like you're pulling your chest through those thighs. Try to continue to elongate your spine. Good. As you inhale, walk the hands forward, come up to the fingerprints, look forward, put a little bend to the knees and the hands travel to the hips. Inhale, rise to standing, see something in front of you. Turn your right toes out. Line up your right heel with your left arch. Make sure your right big toe is still turned in slightly. Good. Walk your left foot a little further back if you can. Start to bend your right knee over your right ankle, but try not to lean over your right leg. So look down the front of your body right now and make sure your shoulders are over your hips. Take your arms to a T. Draw the low belly gently into the spine. Turn your head slowly to the right now. Look down that right arm, past the tip of that right middle finger, and then pull back a little through those left fingers. Keep looking down that right arm. Move your right knee towards the baby toe edge of your right foot. But keep pushing into that right big toe and that inner right heel. Hug the muscles of the upper arms in just a little closer to the bone. Take another deep breath in. Spread across the arms. Exhale. Bring your hands to your heart. Straightening your right leg, turn your right toes in, bend your left knee as you turn your left toes out, and bring your knee right over top of your ankle. Line up your left heel with the arch of your right foot. Make sure your right foot is parallel with the short edge of your yoga mat, arms to a T. Try not to lean your torso over your left leg right now. Shoulders over hips. Draw the low belly in. We haven't turned the head yet, so tuck the tailbone. Pull the chin towards the throat. And now let your head turn slowly to the left. Reach back through those right fingers. Try to keep the right hand right up at shoulder height. Relax the shoulders down away from the ears. Lift through the crown of the head. Try to move your left knee towards the baby toe edge of the foot, but make sure your left big toe is still turned in a little bit. Some of us have a tendency to turn those left toes out too much. Make sure your foot is still parallel with the long edge of your mat. Take another inhale, reach across the arms. Exhale, hands to heart center. Straightening the left leg as you turn the left toes in. Adjust your feet back to one leg's length if they went wide. Pigeon toe your feet again. So heels out. Take your heels out a little more, John. Good. Let's inhale, arms to a T. Exhale, interlace your fingers at the back. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Try to straighten your arms. Extending your knuckles towards the floor. Keep the low belly pulled in. Lift through the crown of the head. So don't lift the chin. Lift through the top of your head. Lengthen your spine. Take another full inhale. As you exhale, soften the knees. Lead with the chest. Begin to fold forward. How far forward can you fold? When you can't go any further with the chest, relax your head. Lean a bit of weight into your toes. Start to draw the arms, if you can, away from the back. But keep pulling the shoulders down away from the ears at the same time. Hips in line with ankles, leading with the chest still as you fold down in between those legs to your furthest place. Good. See if you can take one more inhale. Draw the arms just a bit further as you exhale. Relax the arms all the way down to the ground now. Walk your hands around to the front of your mat, turning your right toes out. Come onto the ball of your left foot. Plant both your palms flat and step back to downward dog with both hands flat on your mat. Lift the hips up, push the chest gently back, and try to press those heels down. Just take one more inhale here. Exhale, lower your knees, untuck your toes, sink back into child's pose, whatever width you would like those knees to be at this moment. And breathe. Arms can relax in front of you, alongside you. Hands can support the forehead. Good. Bring your hands now just to either side of your head, pressing into the palms as you inhale. Slowly straighten the arms. Bring your knees together, roll over to one hip, and let your legs come around in front of you. Pulling the flesh out from underneath those sitting bones. Try to pull all 10 of your toes towards you. Try to get that pelvis tipping forward. If you need the aid of your block, you need the aid of the blanket, push out through the heels, draw the shoulders back, draw the ears back. Inhale, float the arms up. Pull the shoulders down. Take another inhale, and exhale. Begin to move the heart in the direction of the feet. Try not to round the back. So when the hands need to come down, take a gentle grip with a bent arm. So try not to reach so far forward that the arms are straight. Keep a bend in the elbows. Activate the biceps. Now draw the belly in. Drag the heart a little closer to those toes. And then relax your head down. Let your eyes soften and close. Press out through the heels. Pull the big toe and the pinky toe edges of the feet back towards you. Keep pressing those heels away. Heart moving forward, away from navel. Navel moving forward, away from pubic bone. Good. As you inhale, lift the chin, and as you exhale, extend the arms. Look between the palms. Inhale, rise. Exhale, relax the arms down to the sides. Coming off of that lift, make sure your heels are up at the top of your mat and lie down onto your back. Stretch the arms over the head as you point the toes forward. Take a deep breath in. Stretch the body and relax the arms to your sides, preparing for some version of an inversion. So you can bring the arms to your sides and take the legs up in the air. You can do legs and arms up in the air. You can move into a partial shoulder stand, a full shoulder stand. What is your body asking for this morning? Make sure if you're in a back row that you've got enough room to come down into plow so you can move yourself up your mat a little bit if needed. Remembering to not turn your head if you are coming up into the full expression of the pose. Try to keep the head straight. Try to bring those pinky fingers into either side of your spine so your fingers point up, and relax the toes a little bit. Wiggle them. And then relax those feet. Try to slow your breathing down as best you can. Only lifting those legs up to a height that you feel comfortable, that you can still breathe in. Slow that breath right down. Using some of your core strength. Arms are working. There's a bit of effort with the legs. Try not to let any one single part work harder than the other. If you're in shoulder stand, can you bring the soles of your feet together into Baddha Konasana, heels right over the perineum if you can get them there, knees opening out to the sides of the room. Soles of the feet connecting. Pull those knees apart. Good. Let those legs float back up into your shoulder stand. Take another deep breath in. Can you let the right leg come down over the face without moving the left leg at all? Try to keep both legs straight. Spread the toes. On an inhale, let your right leg join the left again, and then let your left leg come down without moving the right leg. Continue to breathe deeply. On an inhale, left leg comes up. Exhale, let both your legs slowly come down. Just before your toes touch the ground, can you inhale, bring those legs all the way back up again with control. Take another deep breath in, and as you exhale, let the legs come all the way down this time, pressing out through the heels. If and when your toes touch the floor behind the back of the head, can you walk those feet in a little closer? Press the backs of those knees open. If your feet are just sort of hanging there, keep your hands, please, on your back, supporting you. So we only take the hands off the back if the toes touch down. You can press the palms down if the toes are touching. You can clasp the hands, coming into the full expression of plow. Just a couple more breaths here. If you're lying on the back, legs and arms up, you can take the arms down because we're all going to eventually meet in that same position. So either with your hands on your back or your palms on the floor in your plow, keep your head on the ground and start to lower your upper back down to the ground. Push into those palms. Try not to let the head lift, lowering mid-back and eventually the low back down. Arms are down at the sides. Once the hips touch down. Push up through the heels, spread your toes, take a deep breath in. Start to lower your legs down towards the ground. Nice and slow, pushing your heels forward as your legs descend. And once those heels eventually touch down, walk your feet towards your hands. Plant those heels directly in front of the buttocks, hip bone distance apart. Flatten the low back towards the floor. Press the back of the neck gently down and inhale. Lift your hips up into bridge pose, Setu Bandhasana. So you can squeeze the shoulder blades a little closer together. You can walk the hands closer together. If your thumbs touched, you can clasp the hands if that's available to you. Try not to splay those knees. Try to keep those knees right over those ankles. Keep pressing those arms down towards the ground. Press down through the back of the head. Really press down through the inner edges of both your feet. Relax your toes. Good. On an inhale, rise onto the toes. Slide the arms out from underneath you if they're there. Lower your upper back, mid-back, low back, all the way down. Let your heels come down and let your feet go as wide as your mat is, as your arms come out to a T or cactus if you're too close to the wall. So your legs are still bent, so don't straighten the legs, you guys. Keeping your feet close to the body. Take your feet as wide as your mat is wide and let your knees fall to center. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, let both your knees come over to the right, but make sure your heels were as close to you as you could get them before you lower the legs to the right, head to the left. Good, so Jackie, you were right with your feet at the width of your mat. Good, and just let your head turn left and your knees release to the right. Maybe you can walk that left foot just a little further out to the left, deepening that stretch along the side of that left leg, through that left hip flexor. Good, and then walking that left foot back to the edge of your mat. On an inhale, let your head and your knees slowly rise to center and then change sides as you exhale. Knees falling to the left, head is turning to the right. So your feet are still at the edges of your mat and you've rolled right onto the outer edge of your left foot and the inner edge of your right, letting that left knee drop all the way down. Maybe your right foot can walk a little further out to the right. Bringing that knee more in line with that right hip. Relax and breathe here. Try to listen to the sound of the breath as it swirls gently there at the back of the throat. And if you walk the right foot out, just walk it back to the edge of the mat where it started. Inhale, let your head and your knees come up. Walk your feet towards each other. Heels are still close to the body. Let the soles of the feet now connect as the knees open out to the sides, coming into Supta Baddha Konasana. So if the arms are straight at shoulder height, you can bend those arms into cactus now, pointing those fingers straight back behind you. If the backs of the hands really start to pull away from the floor, take the hands a little wider if necessary. Maybe you can lift your elbows up even higher, beginning to move the fingers towards one another above the head, creating a diamond shape with the arms around the head, making sure that the backs of the hands and those elbows are relaxed. There should be no pain. And if you took the arms into a diamond, you feel as though you can go further. You can reach right across for the opposite elbow with your fingertips. But be conscious as you come into this pose, what arm is always on the bottom and what arm is always on top. Maybe you can switch it up. Feel slightly different. maybe slightly awkward. And just breathe here, letting gravity pull those knees down and shoulders. Chin is still tucked and the back of the neck is long. Go ahead, take another deep breath in, and as you exhale, begin to unravel the arms, slowly coming back to cactus, and then slowly straightening the arms as you bring the arms down to your sides. Reach for the outer thighs and help those legs back up. Draw your knees into your chest, hugging them in with your hands. Just do a couple rocks from side to side, massaging your back. And as you roll back to center, once again, keeping your knees into your chest, take your arms into cactus or straight out at shoulder height if you have the space for it. If the hands are in cactus, palms are up. If the arms are to a T, palms are down. Flex the feet. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, begin to lower your legs over to the right as you turn your head to the left, and before your left shoulder pulls away from the ground, set your feet gently down. And if the arms are straight, you can turn the palms up. Relaxing that left shoulder, close your eyes, and just breathe here in this spinal twist. Taking a few breaths before you try to go any further. And after those few breaths, giving the body ample time to adjust, ample time to relax, maybe the ability is there to pull the knees in a little closer to the chest. Maybe you want to add the weight of your right hand to the outside of that left knee or thigh. Try to keep your eyes closed. Relax. Left shoulder has not pulled away. The head is turned as far to the left as it'll go. So this isn't about turning the whole body to the right. It's about the twist. So we try to keep the chest facing the ceiling. Every time you exhale, just let the body melt downwards, taking one more inhale and one more exhale, letting that right arm come back down to the position it was, palms down if the arms are straight. Wait for your next inhale and come back through center. Head lifts up, knees come up at the same time. Pause at the top. Take another deep breath in. Exhaling now, legs to the left, head is turning slowly to the right before your right shoulder lifts. Let your feet just settle gently down and relax. If the arms are straight, let the palms turn up again. Relax those shoulders down and away from the ears. Try to keep both sides of your chest facing that ceiling right above you. And after a few breaths, maybe you can squeeze the knees into the chest a little tighter, maybe bringing those knees a bit closer to the left arm. Maybe you want to add the weight of that left hand to the outside of that right leg. Keep melting the right shoulder and shoulder blade down. Think about that right rib cage coming back down towards the ground as well. And just breathe here. In through the nose and out through the nose. Go ahead, taking one more inhale, really expand the lungs. As you exhale, let all of the air go. Left arm coming down. If the arms are straight, press the palms down. Inhale to center. Reach for the knees with the hands, squeeze them into your chest, and then inhale, draw your forehead up towards the knees, and if you can, wrap the arms more tightly around those legs. Take another deep breath in, holding the breath, squeezing the face, the scalp, neck, arms, belly, back, legs, feet, squeeze, and release. And make yourself ready for Shavasana. Is there a bolster, extra clothing, a blanket, an eye pillow, whatever you need to be comfortable? And when you're ready, just allow yourself to take rest. Allow yourself to relax and soften and melt. Chin is tucked, the back of the neck is long. Starting to relax the throat, letting the breath become quiet. Letting the entire body become still. And then allow yourself to completely and totally relax here. Gravity pulling you down towards the ground. Pulling all of the organs towards the back side of the body. Heavy through the bones. Relax completely. Relax. Allow your breath to begin to lengthen and deepen. And as you continue to breathe deeply, just start to move your fingers and your toes. Circling the wrists and ankles, letting your head turn slowly side to side. Allowing your head to come back to center. Legs slide together, point the toes and reach the arms back over the head. Take a long, deep breath in. Make the body as long as possible. And relax the arms back down to your sides. Drawing your knees into your chest, hugging them in for the very last time, and just beginning to rock. From hip to hip, shoulder to shoulder, ear to ear, across your back. Good. Roll over onto your right side. Release a hold of your legs and just pause here. Relax. Breathe. Notice how you feel. And whether there's been a shift. Not just in your physical state, but maybe even in your emotional body, mental body, spiritual body. When you're ready, press down through the left palm and that right arm below, and with the eyes still closed, slowly come up to seated. Sit comfortably. Lift through the crown of the head. Bring your hands together at your heart. Thank yourself for this gift of yoga here at the start of your day and the start of your week. Let its positive effects stay with you. And share them unconditionally with everyone that you come into contact with. The divine light within me graciously acknowledges that same divine light within you. Namaste. Have a wonderful Sunday, everybody. Thank you.